There's an old saying in the part of the world I'm from. It goes a little bit like this. Thou shalt not hear thy crying baby on thy long distance flight with thou Sony noise cancelling headphones. Basically, get yourself a set of these. Now, going back to that one viewer that just loves boxes, I'm going to do this just for him. Noise, hands-free calling with HD voice, 10-minute charge, plays 70 minutes, music playback time 30 hours, voice assist function, Google or Siri, headphone cable, plug adapter for in-flight use, micro USB cable, come on guys, USB-C is the time, and carrying case. Okay, let's just start with this lovely side panel here. That's where your controls are going to be. And if we go back to the box, you can see that swipe, 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 tappy tap tap. Read more in the manual to find out more, but that's how you're going to be controlling your life. And then let's talk about codecs, very important. SBC, it's going to be your kind of standard, no thrills. Then you've got your aptX if you're using like a Samsung phone, aptX HD if your phone supports that. LDAC, well, that is coming to Oreo, and if you have one of those Sony Walkmans, you'll probably get that supported as well. If you're on iPhone, I believe you're looking at something like AAC, but I'm no pro on the iPhone. I'm an Android kind of guy, so there we go. Let's have a little chat about this. So to begin, we have the power on and off switch, which also doubles up to check your battery level, and this noise cancelling and ambient switch here as well. Other than that, we have the touchpad, also NFC here as well, as you can see, NFC pad here. Sort of fake leather inserts. The classic headband that we're all wondering whether it's going to start cracking again. As for the box, usual affair, they were folded up in there. Get your manuals, adapter for plain use, but you're not really interested in all of that. Let's see if these are the ones that you should buy. I'll throw in a little bit of a comparison here with the WI and the WF. So when I first got these, it said in the manual to charge them first, but of course nobody listens to that, so I just went straight for it, started playing some music for it. I've been using the WIs for a few days, and I went straight from the WIs into these, and I was a little bit disappointed at first. They were quite tight and gripped and made me a bit uncomfortable, and I also got a strange sort of sickness feeling, like cabin pressure. I know a lot of reviewers out there say that these don't have that, and to be fair, after a few hours it did go away, but initially at first it did hit me and I had to stop using them for a little while, and the music was quite flat really, so I gave up and I put them on charge for a few hours, and after that they were a different headphone completely. The battery must have been extremely low. They really did transform. Now let's start with noise cancellation, and there'll be another video on my channel with that test, but I'll also add it in at the end of this video if you want to skip forward and watch the noise cancellation test itself. But let's just have a look at the whole W line. So got your WF's noise cancellation, it's there, but it really, you can still hear sounds with that Then you have the WI, the neckband headphone noise cancellation, and that is almost on par with these, almost. And then you have these. A lot of people think that these are literally, you're going to put them on and you're not going to hear a thing, and that's simply not true. I can still hear voices, but what it does do is it gets rid of travel sounds, the car rumble, the plane noise, the train noise, those sort of low down frequencies. But if someone really screams at you, you are still going to be able to hear them if just purely in ambient mode. However, by the time you actually put your music on, then really you're going to struggle to hear anything in the background except on the long pauses between tracks. If it's simply noise cancelling that you want and you're undecided between the WF, the WI and these, it's a no-brainer, guys. If it's just that noise cancelling that you're after, these are your ones. They are the best out of the three, and that's not really surprising, is it, considering that these are the biggest, the heftiest, and let's not kid ourselves, the most expensive. So moving on to sound, there's no doubt that the WFs sound the worst out of the three. That isn't to say that they sound bad, it's just that compared to the WI and these, they're the worst of the three. So if it's purely sound quality you're after, the WI is very close to these, providing you get the right tip for your ear and you get that seal. If you manage to get the seal, they're up there, and I'd give the win to these, but the WI is certainly close behind. So if you want the less form factor, the neckband is more portable and you'll sacrifice a very, very small amount of sound quality, then the WI is for you. These sound the best out of the three once you've let them run in a little bit. At first, when I first got them, I needed to turn the bass all the way up, but I found as time went on, I was notching that EQ back and back until I just off with the EQ, and now they have enough to give me that thump. I've been watching Stranger Things, of course, binged watched the entire series, as you do, did the whole thing with these, and man, when some of those big thumps happen, it is enough to give you a good pounding in the ear. So it's certainly there. The reason I'm choosing these for the longer wear is with the WIs and the WFs, I don't really want the things in my ears for that long, so these are my more chilled, long journeys, long travel style. If you're after pure freedom, go for the WFs. However, since I made my video, I experienced more and more dropouts in the right earbud, and unfortunately, guys, I did end up returning them. I simply couldn't put up with it, and it just got too much in the end. I can't recommend the WFs to you at the moment until they sort that out, I'm afraid. There's new Bose completely wireless ones that have come out, and the Icon X 2018s are out. I'll get them tested for you as soon as I can. If you're just going to be using them at home and you're not going to be travelling into areas where there's a lot of Bluetooth, you can still get away with the WFs, but they just kept on going for me, guys. Kept on with the dropout, so the WFs are gone. So your two main ones really are the WI and these, and there's not a lot in it really. I can't really give you one over the other, except to say if you're in it for the long haul, you want to be watching films all day, you're going to be wearing them all day, go for these. If it's jump on the train for a couple of hours, the WIs. If it's just for noise cancellation, these. And if it's for almost that sort of amount of noise cancellation, it's the WIs. Some of the features on these, it plays a kind of white noise, if you will. Nowhere near as much as the WFs because they almost hiss, but this plays a kind of white noise in the background when you're on ambient with the noise cancelling on. I don't mind it, other people's do. Probably one of those things where you're going to need to give it a quick test before you buy. You have Google Assistant or Siri if you press down. Also, if you hold your hand over the ear cup completely, it turns off noise cancellation and pauses the music. Ideal if the air steward is just coming to give you your drink. She maybe says a few words or an announcement on the tannoy. You can simply cover the cup and hear that announcement. 30 hours playback on Bluetooth, 40 hours wired with cancellation. These sound very good wired, off completely, and they also sound very good wired with the noise cancellation. But here's my disclaimer, because we need to keep this into perspective, guys. These are not Hi-Fi Man opened backed headphones running them through an IDSD Pro. They are travel headphones, they're Bluetooth headphones. They sound good in this area of travel Bluetooth headphones. I'm not going to put $1,000 pair of headphones next to them and try and convince you that they sound as good with an open back soundstage, because they simply don't. But as I've said on previous videos, you're not going to be taking your Hi-Fi Man and amp onto the train, because you'll clear that entire carriage and get mugged. So there's your three, WF, WI and these. And I think that's the order they belong, WF, WI and these, in order of preference as you go up. Again, I've discounted the WFs for now because of that right earbud disconnect issue. So really, you're looking at either a neckband style WI or the headband style with these. And for that, only you can decide. Let's roll the noise cancelling video, and as usual, guys, it's been emotional.
Power on. Optimizer start. Optimizer finished. Ambient sound. Off. Noise cancelling. Power off.